Hello everybody, Attack Power here with another monthly tournament game from the SDL League for Steel Division 2 between Colonel Koenig and Jaapaasa. Let's dive right in here to Slutsk. And on the left, in the red, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Colonel Koenig on Task Force Butler on Balanced Income. And on the right, in the blue, we have one of my favorite players, Jaapaasa here, playing 26th Panzer Division, also on Balanced Income. Oh, what a beautiful balance smear. Let's dive right into this. So on the left, Task Force Butler division, I mean, we barely ever see anymore. It's just a very weird, lot of phase locking, a lot of things with it. It does have some cool units. I mean, it's an American division, which makes it, strong, generally speaking. But we don't really see it get played, so really interesting to see it here. So and remember, for this monthly tournament, it is Southern Divisions only, which is why these players are limited to some of these divisions. So Recon tab here, Cavalry Scouts, M8, Cavalry Scouts again, all in A phase. B phase, we have some Commandos d'Afrique, all these units have bazookas, by the way, and some M5A1 Stuarts. Infantry tab, only 60 infantry for a balanced division. This man, Colonel Koenig, he's insane. We have Engineers, Group, FFI, Groupa there, and Rifles late, all in A phase, but that's it. I mean, that's literally not that many infantry. Then we have B phase, Maquisards, and Rifles late, and a C phase card of vetted Maquisards. So, yeah, this division did get a good buff with the buff to the Maquisards, so maybe it's much stronger than it used to be. Tank tab here, we'd have some more Stuarts, a whole bunch, 2 cards in A phase, an M4A1 card there, and then an M4A1 76 card. That unit is quite good. The support tab here, we have the M1919, M8 Scott, a 50 cal, M4105, all in A phase, and then a supply truck. The AT tab here, we have an M157 middle gun, an M10 in A phase, and then B phase, we have a Pack 40 with 1 vet. Don't see that often. And then an M10 tank destroyer again. The A tab, really limited in this division. We just have M15 and a 25 mil cannon, definitely one of the big issues for this division. The RD tab here, we have 81 mortar with radio, quite strong as always. RD commander, we have a 203 off map, barf, and a C phase double vet card of Long Tom. The air tab, we have a Lightning Recon Hellcat fighter, P-38 fighter bomber. Then B phase, we have some bow fighters for AT, and a P-47 bomber in C phase. I'm not gonna lie, this kind of looks like a Maverick deck that he slapped balance on. Gotta be totally honest here. But Colonel Koenig's a very good player, so I'm not going to question him. He is definitely better than me. The other side here, Jaapaasa playing 26th Panzer, a very strong division. Tons and tons of light armor and stuff. So the Recon tab here, we have Aufkletta, SDK Z250/9, a Panzer 3, a Panther D, all in A phase, and then a Panzer 4J in B phase. Infantry tab, 79 infantry here, looking a little bit more like a balanced deck for a tournament. We have Stolstrup Beretta, really strong. Pioneer Führer, Panzergren MG34, and a Panzergren Panzerfaust in A phase. Then B phase, we have Sturm Pioneer double vet here. Panzergrenadier, Panzerfaust, and another Panzergren leader. Now, both those Panzergren leaders coming in with a half-track there. I think the SDKFZ cannon one. And finally, C phase, a Panzergrenadier MG34. The tank tab here, we have another card of Panzer 3, but these are the L variant. Then a Stug M42 in B phase, Panther in B phase, and a C phase card of Panthers as well. Support tab, we see the Flammenwerfer Panzer 4 F1, MG42, and B phase, we have the munitions and a Stug M43 for lots of 2K support there. A huge card of Panzer 4s really goes a long way. The AT tab, we have Panzer Shreks, Pack 40, and Jagdpanzer 4 in A phase, and a B phase card of Pack 40. AA tab, stacked up here, we have Beretta 20 mils, a FAMO 88, SDK Z71, and then a Gepard double vet in B phase. RD tab, we have the Vespa, SK18, 105, and a Wurfrahmen. And finally, in the air tab, we have some Focke-Wulf F8s, the strong Sagittario, and then the Alcione bomber in C phase. Let's dive right into this here. If you guys enjoy this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure to check out the membership or the Patreon link down below. Alrighty. I needed a drink. Trying to get steps in at the same time. Hopefully you don't hear it. I said all kinds of weird sound things to try to stop you from hearing the treadmill. But Attack Power is on summer break. Woohoo! That also means, though, I need to get steps in at some point. I'm sorry, but my personal health outweighs the need to have perfect audio in my SD2 videos. Love you all anyway. All right, so Big force here for Koenig, looking for that central push. I mean, Koenig's got a lot of stuff everywhere. And a lot of his units are relatively cheap. See a lot of armor coming out here from Jaapaasa. A lot of it's light, though. These Panzer 3s, Panzer 4s, they're not exactly ideal for this open area. Fact is, though, Task Force Butler, not exactly sporting a lot of 2K. It's got that one M4 card in the support tab. The M4A176s give him 1750 meter range, but that's like about it. I mean, it's got the packs and the M10s, I suppose. But certainly not a 2K powerhouse, no doubt there. Jaapaasa here struggling in the beginning. You know, this light armor just everywhere immediately. You know, want to make sure he turns off those APCR shells on these Panzer 3s. He's in for a sad, sad reminder. Nice placement in this Pack 40, actually. I like this. A little different. Could still be effective. Flammenwerfer, it does manage to get into the woods, but we'll lose against all those infantry. All right, so we do see the SDK of Z 251/10. Love these things. Watch them wipe out this little Stuart. Easy kill. And one of these is, what, 5 points? Killed a 30-point tank. I mean, how can you... 25-point tank, how can you complain? He actually brought those in with his Panzerschrecks as well, I believe. Yep, he did. Respect to Colonel Koenig. I mean, to Jaapaasa, maxing those out in counter of what he knew would be a lot of light armor out of Task Force Butler. Panzergrad MG34 performing relatively well. Flammenwerfer finally getting into the woods with a lot of smoke, but he's kind of basically dead already. Both these players really strong. Jaapaasa used to be in the same division as me way back in the day, but then he got way better and I got way worse. Still love watching him, though. He reminds me of myself. He has a similar play style, a little bit more, more of a generalist, I would call him. You know, pushing all kinds of places on the map, maybe a little bit more defensive in general. But his skills have increased significantly where he actually fights against some of the best here, like Colonel Koenig. Still considered one of the strongest players in the game at the moment. The man just plays the game well. Oh, so well. If you want to learn, this is a guy to watch. Both these players, absolutely. Really surprised to see them both playing balanced income. Now, Slutsk is a balanced map, there's no doubt about it. Maverick income can struggle on this map a fair bit because it's just, you got to go pretty far to get flags. You got to really work hard to pick up flags on this map. So, you know, Maverick Vanguard tend to be a little bit more of a struggle, where balance has a little bit more time. So that would be my guess as to why. I'm not sure what order they picked in. I'm pretty sure there's no faction mirrors or anything. So, you know, that's why all these games have been Axis ally fights. So I wonder who picked first. I mean, I'm kind of surprised Koenig left 26th Panzer open. It is a very strong division at the end of the day. Has a lot of good tools and just tons of light armor spam. But I suppose on this map, light armor spam is a little less effective because there is, of course, a lot of open space. But that's the thing with 26. You still get Panthers and such to work with, so it's not like you have no... It's not like you're weak at long range. I would argue you're much stronger than Task Force Butler's long range. You can see both these players losing very few units as they jockey around for position. Both of them just absolutely always on their micro. Although this Panzer 3 probably going to be an easy kill here for Mr. Koenig. But once again, Jaapaasa on his micro. Not fast enough, though. Yep, you can't get too close to the woods. Butler does have a lot of bazookas. Between the recon tab, your AT CAD could have some. I'm pretty sure even some infantry do carry them. Not in Koenig's current build, but you know, just in the recon tab, we have 12 bazooka units. So really can't get too close to buildings and such. So nice little strong point set up here by Koenig. I mean, here's the thing. This is mirror balance, which means neither of these players are going to gain any advantage by sitting around waiting out the income. So it's essentially both of them going to try to eke out some better trades and see if they can gain an advantage that way. Panzer 4 does get the one shot there on the M8. These are just really good units. For only 35 points, you get essentially a medium tank with, honestly, like, pretty good pen and stuff. Low armor, obviously. but it does a lot of damage to infantry. They're just really strong. They're a nice counter to the Stuarts, the M8s in here. Also, Beretta, that extra 50 meters range on the submachine gun is just so huge. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is a big deal. We even saw Jaapaasa back up and come back in to give his Berettas time to reload and re-attack there. These guys, the micro play is just so supreme. I do wonder who wins this. Uh-oh. My mouse died? Oh, no. What has happened here? Not sure. Moment, folks. While I try to diagnose this problem, I would pause the game, but I cannot. Okay. Apparently, I can't have it plugged in right now. It's all good. We're back. Oh, just kidding. Actually, everything unplugged. All right. Give me just a moment, then. I'm going to pause some things. I can't pause things. No! All right. My keyboard detached. I will return. All right, we're back. My goodness. That was awkward. So I raised up my desk a little bit higher to accommodate for my obsessive need to walk. And that pulled a whole bunch, it pulled my adapter cord out, which had all my other things, and now it's bent. Oh, attack power, you silly, silly goose. Now, sorry about that, folks. A little bit of an interruption there. So, let's see what we missed here. We see a Panzer III went down. Not sure what it traded for or didn't trade for. Something in there. Y'all got to see it. I didn't. Down south here, I mean, this is as much of a stalemate as it could be. We see that the Slutsk were able to clear out this woods here. Kind of rough seeing these guys in A phase. They're just so strong. Of course, I always like having my strong units in B phase, especially in a balanced mirror. But I do understand Jaapaasa's very real need to have strength early. Double Vespa right out here at the beginning. Already applying some pressure. I mean, Slutsk is a map where you end up with these very real pockets of infantry. And that's true for a lot of maps, but Slutsk feels really focused on that because you end up with a group of units here, essentially. The other side ends up with a group of units here or a group of units here. In the center here. It's very easy to pick out arty targets. Because now we see the 81mm mortar doing the same here, getting so much value. Oh my god. Oh, losing Slutsk that way is so hard to watch. Jagdpanzer 4A0 coming in. Very effective weapon. Not as obviously strong as the just Jagdpanzer 4, but of course it is 15 points cheaper. Panzer 3 still has its APCR on. This one has it off, though. I do wonder if we're going to see Jaapaasa go for the counter battery here. Yeah, I mean, Jaapaasa leaving that APCR on did punish him there. Otherwise, this M4A1 would probably be dead. I mean, maybe he wouldn't have got the crew panic. Oh, we see a 57mm finding the Panzer 3 for free. Not really agreeing with that line of sight, but ooh. Yeah, and once again, APCR punishing here Jaapaasa badly. Lost a Panzerschreck for nothing. 81mm mortar going to work again. Now here's where the APCR might be wanted. He has it off. Let's see if it punishes him. It does not. Gets the first pen. Panzer 3 hopping forward. Takes a pen. And he does get the kill. Okay, so he's going for the arty on the church tower here. I mean, it's not a bad play. You certainly want to do this at some point. It's free recon the whole game. Otherwise. Well, I'm just really surprised he hasn't tried to counter battery this. I would assume there's no radio mortars, like half tracks, in Koenig's deck. Otherwise, I'm in his division, I should say, not his deck. Otherwise, I imagine he would take that, and that's probably why Jaapasa's not trying to counter battery it. Pendragon's getting caught out, getting wrecked here by the group FFI. Ouch. Absolute destruction there. Hey, Jaapaasa did a good job of clearing out a bunch of his light armor, allowing his light armor to push forward. This is really quite an interesting jockeying of light armor going on here. Where did that Jagdpanzer 4 go? Oh, it's right here. I mean, this is a very different kind of match than we've seen in a long time. Most of the time these days, we're looking at, you know, high speed, high aggression play. Both players on some sort of, you know, aggressive income. And therefore, they push early. They exploit openings. They're just, like, trying to mass units and push hard when they can. And in this game, we're seeing some extremely passive play from both players as, you know, they both dig in on this balanced income and essentially are just looking for small incremental advantages. Trying to get little trades here and there to give them just that bit of a bonus over their opponents. And I assume as the game goes on, their goal is to, you know, eventually get a critical mass of increased strength from these little trades. With both players essentially aiming for a C-phase game. Which might sound redundant to say. Ooh, if he gets these 2 Panzer 3s, though, for free. Jaapaasa caught sleeping in a rare moment there. Ouch. Another waste of an APCR. Let's take out the half-track, though. It looks like Jaapaasa shifting his focus down south. We do see an M15 AA piece here, so this Focke-Wulf unlikely to get through. Nope. I think Jaapaasa was originally going for this central push, which can be quite decisive if you can take this hill. You know, it's 2 flags and then like half the map cut off. That didn't work out, so now he's really shifting south. We're now in B phase. These Vespa's going to run out of ammo here soon. Ooh, the half-track's under fire. He really has to do something about this. This is an issue. Oh, he's going to lose this for nothing. And it's on the hill. Oof. All right, Vespa's up nice and close, but in the wrong, firing at the wrong position. Like, just straight up wrong. Not even like Koenig moved it first. Panzer IV, though, just coming in close, knowing that these group FFI do not have any sort of, you know, AT on them. Sturm Pioneer's too close, so they can't use their flamethrower. Awkward sauce. Here in the woods, Sturm Pioneer's pushing forward as Koenig's armor darts back. Some M10s here as well now. I mean, the Panzer IIIs stop these Stuarts relatively well. Not the most efficient way to hold them back, but it does work. Mortar getting resupplied. Here comes the 203, and that's going to be pretty backbreaking, I'm not going to lie. I'm not seeing a great way for Jaapaasa to not get crumpled by this 203 off map. I mean, boom, and the damage is just going to be so significant. Jaapaasa now backing up. I'm not sure if he noticed. Like, maybe he saw the off map? Because now he's pushing some units forward and pushing others back. I mean, it certainly seems like he's trying to reduce the potential damage here. Off-map was called and then canceled by Koenig. I'm not sure if that lightning gave him information he didn't trust or he saw units moving away. Yeah, I mean, Jaapaasa is literally sounding the retreat here. Very interesting. I mean, I know neither of these players know what the other one's doing, but my god, they are certainly next leveling themselves here. I know for most players, I mean, they would call this in and immediately start dropping the bombs. Dropping the arty strike. But Koenig is just patiently waiting with it. While Jaapaasa is just kind of predicting this big bomb strike and retreating from it. There it is. And Koenig, this is Koenig. He must have somehow saw units moving with that lightning, and it has guessed Jaapaasa's move backwards. And is like pre-predicting his opponent's prediction. My goodness. There's something that... Oh, this Panzer Grenadier could see the 203. He's trying to arty it. Oh, look at that. I love it. Yes, the Panzer Grenadier saw that 203 chilling there. That's what gave Jaapaasa the information to fall back, and the lightning gave Koenig the information to do this deeper strike. Ooh, that Panther. Oh, that's scary. I mean, the Pioneer Fear will die, probably? That might be it. As Koenig, Jaapaasa now making a push for this flag in the town. He's basically on top of it, just needs to get it cleared out. SDKFZ 251 does go down here to... I'm not sure what actually got that. Stewart, I suppose? Pack 40 should be able to clean this up, though. Yes, it does have its APCR off. Yeah, so that off-map actually totally failed, and I think he only gets 2 strikes because it is a 203mm off-map. Panzer do go down easily there, the MG. Jaapaasa, I'm not a huge fan of this general walk forward. Let's finally get the flag. Panzer 3 versus M8. Not great here for the Panzer 3. Yeah. Now, it does get killed off by the other Panzer 3, so that's a plus. But it's a big loss for an M8. Jaapasa's got to be careful, though. He's bunched up. Now, the 203, of course, it doesn't, like, have infinite call-in range, so it shouldn't be able to reach back here. Stewart did go down. Panzer now pushing forward. There's an M1919, though. Panzer 4 is here to do work. E38. Oh, that was a brutal bomb strike. Yeah, these bread is not enough. Neither is the 88. Here comes double lightning and a P-30. Okay, so Koenig's been building up an Air Force here, not really using it, waiting to call it all in at once. M10 versus Panther D takes down the M10. We honestly don't see that often. Oh, Panzer going down there. Bowfighter coming in for the Stug M42 here. And we can see one of the issues with 26th Panzer, their A is not great. Really good fighter, and I think it might be time for Jaapaasa to perhaps invest in one of those. Koenig doesn't actually have AA up north at all. He's got this M15, and that's it right now. The Panzer III did go down here to the commandos. Panther D in a nice position here, though, to kind of cut things off a little bit. Probably he's not covering that road a little bit better. But Jaapaasa on the 1311, and in these balance mirrors, that one tick is huge. Like, it's not small. It's massive. That's the way you win. You don't win by, getting a double tick most of the time, especially with 2 players at this caliber of skill. Unless there's a huge skill gap, these mirror income fights really come down to a single flag being grabbed and held for some amount of time, and then basically the opposing player not being able to claw back that single flag for a while and just not being able to find any ground otherwise. Still really surprised Jaapaasa is not killed. Yeah, okay, there we go. Not really on target, but it'll do the job if it lands. Yeah, of course these infantry are going to keep losing because there's a lot of armor here. Here comes an M4A176 here. Surprising. Units falling back again as the off-map is spotted, I suppose. Pushing forward. German Pioneer in. Aggressively so, but it does get in there. There's still really no AA here to stop another bomb strike on this. And I don't think Koenig really cares if he bombs his own infantry here. They're not super valuable. Jaapaasa picking up that 1311 and willing to lose troops for. We're now in C phase, so here's where we have to see if these players slow jockeying and stuff pays off. Radio mortar getting right on the button here with this Flammenwerfer. Focke-Wulf coming in. There is no AA. It's a nice bomb strike, but doesn't kill a thing. Focke-Wulf is a solid fighter bomber, but it has to have direct line of sight. Like, it's got to be bombing directly on stuff. P-47, and like I said, this is the issue with this forward position. There is no cover for it. Yeah, I mean, that was inevitable. These Gepards, these 20 mils and stuff just are not strong enough. They will not do the necessary damage. Really surprised Koenig's so passive about this central flag. Off-map now on top of the Vespas and stuff. Oh, no. The Vespas did kill the mortar. That's pretty big. Those are really annoying. The Opel Blitz almost out of ammo, but AA is probably going to die. The SDKZs or whatever. The Vespas, I mean, they're not strong, but they are still... This is his arty right now. And losing those will be pretty point breaking there. As in, he's losing a lot of points. There it is. Will the Vespas survive? Ammo truck already dead. Already on the run. Actually, not really much hitting them. The Brettas are dead, though. Not like a massive loss point-wise. They're only 35 points. But the AA currently out of commission, and here comes the Lightning immediately to take advantage of that. Any other arty coming? SDKZ-7-1 now coming, so some real arty. So some real AA, excuse me. And now with the recon there, he can come after this Panther D and these tanks. One down already from the bomb strike. Panther taking the damage. Bowfighter will finish that off, no problem whatsoever. There's so much coordination from Koenig. Yeah, wow. That was a huge point swing, despite the fact the off-map did so little. Identifying that Jaapaasa had fallen back to this corner here. Pushing to get the off-map into position. Taking out those support weapons. And then coming in immediately with an airstrike to follow it up. My goodness. The MG finally discovered. This is safe because it's too close. But the PaK-40, not so much. These Maquisards doing a lot of work here. The Jaapaasa's still holding in 13-11. Now, here's the thing. Jaapaasa's got the ticket lead right now. But, like I said earlier, this match is about incremental advantage. And Koenig has picked up some serious incremental advantage here with the kill of that Panther. A number of, a ton of light tanks and stuff. And while Koenig's lost some light tanks and things, I don't think he's lost nearly as many as Jaapaasa at this point. And now the problem is Jaapaasa's on this horrible hill position where the only way for him to kill this stuff is get all the way up on the hill. And a lot of times your units will get held up and hill pressed and killed. And it's pretty backbreaking. And the Jagdpanzer IV get its shot off? It does not. I think it killed one of them. I highly doubt these Maquisards were meant to be unloaded over here. Well, this Jagdpanzer IV is slightly out of position. I mean, this Panzergren could definitely kill that. Jugan 42 taking out the Stuart. Kind of surprised. It doesn't really have a ton of armor. It kills both those Stuarts, so really nice kill there for that. It was pretty huge, actually. Get rid of some of that light armor support. And now the M4A1 falls back as Koenig realizes that's probably not a very good position. Panzer IV taking some shots at the M5A1 recon. Let's see if we can get it. M4A1 versus the FAMO here. I'm not sure who wins this. We'll find out. Oh, 88 actually gets a pen there. So 104 falls back. 105, excuse me. Problem is the FAMO's going to run out of ammo here. Going to land some hits in this 57mm and then run out of ammo. I mean, Koenig's been making progress, but at the same time, his backline's actually looking a little thin here. He's lost a lot of infantry. He's only got 60 because of his very strange build of balance here. I would have understood the 60 infantry if, like, he was pushing really hard and wanted to end this game fast despite the mirror income. But then he played super passively. Like, no rush to be anywhere. Was happy to trade blows bit by bit. Engineer tossing grenades at this SDKZ, which is currently getting another 13-11. What? Oh, this flag here. So, Koenig was able to momentarily relieve some pressure, but then is pushed back again. Nice bomb strike from the Focke-Wulf there, clearing out those infantry. I mean, the thing is, too, again, like, Jaapaasa's got this long game. He's just got so many more. He just can play an attritional game here and just try to grind Koenig out slowly but surely. I mean, if he trades 1 for 1, he will win because his deck just has that much more depth. Now, it's a 50-minute match, but, I mean, we still got 25 minutes, and these are both balanced players. At this point, this is not like Maverick, where, like, you don't have that many points. You know, let's do some calculations. Maverick, which is what we usually see, we have that, 80 points? Yeah, 80 points in C phase. So, 80 points with C phase. We have 30 minutes of that, basically. So 80, 30, 240, so 2,400 points there throughout C phase. On the flip side here, this time we have 30 minutes of 155 points, which is much closer to, 4,500 points. So a lot more points there. Even more than that, really. It's 4,600. I think a lightning or something just got shot down, potentially. Will the Gepards be able to pick up this P-47? That'd be pretty huge, actually. Pack 40 did get killed, though, by the bombers. Oh, these 20 mils just aren't good enough. A gun jam here on the Jagdpanzer IV. Pretty bad. Panther A just chilling out here. Now, it does cover off this hill, so I understand its presence. Double P-38. I think... I think it may be time for Jaapaasa to get the hint. Yeah, there it is. His AA is not good enough at this point in time. And now with this stuff jammed and everything, the Pack 40 dead, there's no cover here. Here comes a Panther, but it is late. Like, very late here. And this flag about to get flipped. Could this be Koenig's gambit to get back into this game? Because right now, he is behind. Like, he has really, I don't want to say lost the South, but the grind has not, benefited him. Already coming down for where was the Jagdpanzer IV, which has changed positions. Is actually covering off this road a lot better now. A bomb strike. Jagdpanzer IV taking M10 shots here. M10 will eventually kill this. Stewart caught out by the Pack 40. The Pack 40 could ever land a hit, and there it is. I'm not sure if Jaapaasa has noticed how much danger he's in up there. Might be focusing his micro down south. There's, of course, only so many places you can watch. As a Pioneer Fear now caught out, loses that. Jagdpanzer IV does go down now to the M10. Panther has arrived. We do see the M43, which is an actual, like, anti-infantry unit here. So it should be able to clear out some of these infantry. Panther has to be careful, though. The double M10, extremely dangerous. Very easy way to counter heavy Axis armor is just a double M10. Now, there is a fair amount of AA now. So Bowfighter is coming for that Panther, of course. We have a Gepard, we have an SDK of Z. Will they be in range to deal with this? The SDK of Z has had to take cover, but it is able to see that Bowfighter. And the Bowfighter is stopped. Will it get killed? Nah, it flew off the right direction. The Gepard managing to do a good bit of damage. I doubt it shoots it down. Even at double VED. Stewart clears out those half tracks. Finally, an M42 coming in. Sagittario is coming. Little late to the party. There is some AA here. Long Tom has not been significant in any way yet. Vespers are still alive. They're just not doing anything. Verframen strike now. Going for, unfortunately, a completely empty area. Obviously, you would assume there's stuff here. And in this case, Koenig has kind of emptied it out. Really focused all his points on this push here. Does finally kill off the M5A1. As the Stug M43 and the Panther D here, a little bit dominating at the moment. Another Panther A coming in. Question is, how aggressive is Jaapaasa going to be with this thing? He is going. I mean, he'll run into the M10s. Here comes a Focke-Wulf. M15 too far back to stop that forward position strike. Does kill off one of the Maquisards. He needs to kill off that group then. Clear it out. Jagdpanzer IV is still alive with this 57 mil and does kill it. Wow. And Koenig did a lot of work to get that thing like right next to this Jagdpanzer IV. Panther A has arrived, but it's run into some 57 mils first, which might have actually saved this Panther, quite frankly. As Koenig basically sounding a general retreat here for most of his units. Beretta 20 mil is under fire, so Koenig's switching strats again. Well, I don't know if he's again switching strats, but he is going with the kill all the AA and bomb your opponent out strategy, which is very viable in a long game of balance. Especially against an enemy who does not have a plethora of AA. Yeah, we can see Koenig has called in basically his entire Air Force at this point, except for the Hellcats, as his front bombing strike just wipes out the front line of Jaapaasa here. Koenig is on a 13-11. Jaapaasa's got to turn around soon or things are only going to continue to degrade. Thing is, too, Jaapaasa did bring a lot of AA. It's just garbage 20 mils. And I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't matter how many people hop in the comments and go, the 20 mils aren't that bad. No, they're terrible. Like, they're bad. There's very little redeeming about them. The whole argument that they're like, oh, they have good utility. No, they really don't. They're pretty awful. Like, the fact, A, that you need to call in 4 of them to even, like, start doing something semi-effective is not okay. And people are like, well, it covers the map. No, it doesn't. Like, if it doesn't stop a plane, it hasn't covered jack. They're just sitting there, looking pretty. His 88's out of ammo. That's a big issue. Needs to be reloaded. And Jaapaasa has to remember, okay, he's finally remembered he has these. Now they're firing across the map. Honestly, one of the only things that's good about the Vespa is you can move it to positions where it's relatively close and can be somewhat accurate. So if you're not doing that, you're definitely losing one of the few advantages this weapon has. Because it doesn't have a lot of advantages. It's not very good. Jaapaasa managing to hold this flag in the town, though. Still has a strong position here. He moves 2 Gepards into the town now. And so Jaapaasa's surprisingly focusing most of his AA down south. I mean, I guess that's where a lot of the big airstrikes have been. Nicely predicting where this Panzer going to be, but Jaapaasa actually pulling it off to the side here. He just needs to kill this group FFI. I'm surprised Jaapaasa hasn't started RDing, you know, this. Because it's kind of obvious it can only be in, like, one position. I'm not sure what Jaapaasa is hoping to be here. I mean, there's usually support weapons here, so I get the concept. But his Vespa being at max range, essentially, super inaccurate, seems unlikely to do anything. It's good to keep it firing, don't get me wrong. There is also technically another 203, I thought, in... Yep, there it is. I was gonna say, there's another 203 in Koenig's deck. I want the Jaapaasa to kill it so bad because I hate off-map so much. As Jaapaasa clears out the infantry here, which is a big deal, relieves this flag, put Jaapaasa back on the 13-11. We now have 15 minutes left, and the pressure's starting to come on here. This time, though, I don't think Jaapaasa has seen this off-map coming in. Although he is making a push that is going to happen to dodge some of this off-map. But there's a lot of armor and stuff that's going to be a lot of trouble. I'm still just very surprised of Koenig's kind of passiveness about this town. This is where I think he would have the best shot. You know, his Shermans and Stuarts and stuff would be able to tussle with the light armor of 26, but 26 light armor is very good. Maybe that's his thought process, like he just can't beat it. So now we see our first Alcione bomber. This is an actual, like, boom boom bomber. Big booms. Boom goes the big bomber. Yeah. So it clears it out, but I'm not sure what Jaapaasa's goal here is. He has this flag. P-38, big strike there, hurting bad. Off map coming in. Although, I mean... Ooh, okay. I mean, if he gets these Gepards, that's huge. They aren't good, but 2 double vet 20 mils is a lot more than no 20 mils. And all it's going to do is open up the sky some more. All that'll really be left are... I mean, if he reloads this FAMO, this SDK of Z, and the SDK of Z down south, And that's it. Like, these 2 FAMOs and the 2 SDKs. Now, that's his best AA. You know, me calling an 88 the best AA is really painful. But M10 survives its tussle with the Panther. Does not pick up the kill. Focke-Wulf does not get... Yeah, I don't think the Focke-Wulf is the answer here. I think those Alcione bombers are definitely more what you want to be going for. Because the thing is, too, that's where Butler's Air Force is... I mean, AA is bad. Like, not... yeah, as bad as 26, if not worse. Definitely worse. So I'm kind of surprised that, you know, Jaapaasa hasn't turned the screws on his Air Force a little bit. Panzer IV going down to, I honestly don't know what. Standing here. Oh, the M4A1. Okay. Off map gets one of the Gepards and the nope, Panther's still here. And the second Gepard is alive. Again, not a huge, like, oh my gosh, this is game changing, but definitely not a nothing thing. This 88 way too far back. Like, what is the point of this? Ooh, M10 goes down to a Stug M42. That's a nice kill there for Jaapaasa. As Jaapaasa continuing to sit on a 13-11 here. Can that Pack 40 at least get a pen here? It will not before the P-38 comes and wrecks it. Gepard, oh, getting shot by the Beaufighter. Panther goes down. Oh, no. Munitions need to come get that 88 up and running. This thing is useless sitting there with no ammo, as any unit is. Sagittario can knock it through. Beaufighter is quite damaged. I mean, again, Jaapaasa doesn't really need to push. He just needs to really stay dug in here. Force Koenig to come to him and find good trades. These Pack 40s really letting him down. Oh, Scott goes down. There it is. Now, that was a nice kill from the Pack 40. It's been struggling, but it finally picked up a good kill. As Jaapaasa had a group of units come here that got held up. The Panther A did die at some point to something. Sorry, I missed that. Things up north have stabilized. Koenig is making a new fresh push here in the center. Looking for an opening. A Panther coming in, though. I mean, Jaapaasa had started the game with 8 Panthers to work with. I definitely don't think we've seen 8 Panthers. I mean, 1, 2, so the Recon Panthers are out. We see both the leader Panthers here. We see a Panther coming in there, a Panther here. So there might be 1 to 2 left in reserve, and that's all. So it's not like he has a ton of them left. At the same time, Koenig has to work really hard to kill every one of those. A lot less hard when his Air Force is allowed to do whatever it wants. Especially now this FAMO just died. Yep. Yeah, that was a misplay by Jaapaasa. These aren't strong, but they're much stronger than not having them at all. As we still have 10 minutes here, and Koenig's Air Force is definitely very present. We're seeing another game where, you know, letting a player get out of hand with an Air Force is showing how painful that can be. But as you can see, it takes a lot of time to do that, generally speaking. You don't just roll out and your Air Force just runs over everything and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Like, you got to put time and effort into killing all... Ooh, nice kill on the leader, Stewart there. Will it get another hit? Oh, it bounced on the side armor. Wow. Panzer IV gets a pen here, I think? And a kill. Oh, my goodness. And this is where these things just... There's so much value. 35 points just killed an 85-point medium tank. So strong. Already going after the Werfram, and Jaapaasa has not moved it. And he hasn't moved it yet. Looks like we could be losing a Werfram in here. Still not. Jaapaasa, run! Now, straight up, Panzer IV against the M4A1, not a great fight. And there... Ooh. I'm just shocked Jaapaasa has not responded to this. Another recon down. SDKZ is here, but again, with the cover of the lightnings there, bombers easily get through. Effect is actually quite minimal. There was not really a lot of targets there. And that was very lucky for Jaapaasa that an airstrike was kind of wasted. But they already changed targets before it finished off the Werfram and going after the 88. Is Jaapaasa moving it? The answer is right now, no. Oh, no. I'm not sure if Jaapaasa is focusing enough on keeping his AA alive. There's only 9 minutes left, but, like, if Koenig is allowed to really just, like, wipe out the AA and do absolutely anything he wants with his Air Force, it's going to be really bad. It's going to spiral really quick. Essentially, every 2 minutes, you know, Jaapaasa will lose every key unit on the map. That's kind of how it'll work. Panther fighting back? Okay, it is. About to say. Yeah, Jaapaasa has not moved this. I'm, like, actually in shock. I mean, it is 40 minutes deep. Yep, and there it goes. Oh, God. That's so bad. This game is 40 minutes deep. This is where we start to see players, you know, they miss things. There's a lot of crap going on. There's arty flying everywhere. Planes coming in all the time. Constant micro needed. How does Koenig have this many infantry left at this point in the game? Like, legit. The man is a monster. Somehow making 60 infantry go easily into 42 minutes. He really needs something like scarier here than a Panzer IV. As Koenig making a big push here. Can the MG42s hold it up? Panzer IV is here as well. But it's certainly not easy. It's not going to be an easy drive. Because units are getting unloaded. And the Maquisards get through. Maquisards do get through. MG42 goes down immediately, though. The infantry start getting chewed up. Panther is dead? Seriously? Did the Sherman get it? No, it's over here. I was gonna say. Pack 40 on the hill, Panthers on the hill, M4A1 goes down 76. There's not a lot of these left. And they are pretty key to actually killing these stronger armored pieces. Transmission destroyed. This is no longer going anywhere. And these infantry wiped out. Koenig's big push there absolutely eviscerated. And down it goes. And already finally countering on the long tom here. So Koenig switching strategies again and going for some smoke on these Panthers. Jaapaasa counters that by just moving forward. And takes out the M10. Oh, devastating. Jaapaasa doing a phenomenal job of countering every one of these moves Koenig is throwing down. Rahmen kills the off-map, but I'm pretty sure both strikes were used. Infantry wiped out. And Koenig is oh my. Okay. I'm just kind of confused where, like, why not just put him here or something? Like, why so far from the road? Interesting. Jaapaasa back on a 13-11, and things not looking too good here for Koenig. He's still down a lot of points. And again, it's not like this is a Maverick balance thing. This is balance v balance. The grind is real. And right now, it appears Jaapaasa is the one on the top of the grind. I do love balance mirrors, I'm sorry. Watching two players go at it and just trying to eke small advantages out the entire game. So fun. It's so tedious and, like, skill intensive. And I find it to be one of the most fun types of gameplay this game offers. And I'm not even talking like 60-minute grind fest. Those can get a little exhausting. But the nice 50 minutes where you have to work within that time frame. So here comes the Alpha Air Force, going for basically every key unit on the map. SDKZ does stop the P-38. The tanks, though, are going to die. Sagittarios are in, though. Can they pick up anything? They're going to get the bow fighter. Surprised Jaapaasa did not commit to more. Hellcats are in. Gonna lose the Sagittario. Took out a bow fighter, though. I would say worth it. The bow fighter is probably the most important thing for killing off these Panthers and stuff. Might lose a Hellcat here. Very possible. Yeah, not that that's like devastating loss. You know, the Hellcat's not exactly the key of the Air Force here. Maquisard's coming in, going to try, like, I mean, there's only an SKZ here holding this. And I think that airstrike really might have been it for Koenig. He's going to send these infantry in, try to grab some ground. But in terms of shooting the load here, essentially, giving that last hurrah, that very well may have been it. I don't know how Koenig has so many infantry still. Good lord. I guess he just doesn't call them in, essentially, at all. I mean, he did spend a lot of points in Air Force, and Koenig throws it in. Jaapaasa here eking out a very impressive win on Slutsk. 46 minutes and 53 seconds. Yeah, and these weren't even big differences here. 39-30 versus 37-35. Yeah, that was quite a game. Really enjoyable. Great game to both players. I mean, that came down to every little interaction, you know, and they were just so on top of it. Very, very impressive gameplay from both players. Love, love, love to see it. If you guys enjoyed that, smash that like button, subscribe, check out the Patreon link down below. Thanks a bunch, everybody. Have a fantastic day.